as the second speaker and Amumpaire Comfort as the third speaker. From St. Mary's Primary School, Ruchiri. Today, we stand firmly on the proposal side of this debate, and the resolution before us is: this House as a Parliament of Uganda will lower the voting age. Dear agitators, allow me to introduce to you the key terms in this resolution. A parliament is an organization elected to make laws or decisions for our country. We have voting. Voting is when people choose their preferred candidate. We have age. Age is a number of... We as the proposition, we set our parliament in Uganda. We sat down and found up a status quo. Currently in Uganda, voting age is at 18 years. Action of Uganda of... But we have met case study from Brazil and Australia. All vote the certain elections. 50 Uganda Parliament will lower the voting age, not 1 year old, but some extent of 16 years old. Since Uganda's population status is about approximately 70 of the population which coverage. We see that in the Canas, we are seeing that Uganda will lower the voting age not at 1 year, because in my status quo the vote was up to 1 year, but it will be lowered to 16 years. The parliamentarians should view this. We have our funding body of 5 years. In the first year, we have benchmark in countries like Argentina, Brazil, and Australia. In the second year, we have sensitization. In the third year, we have the table bill, find the way to get the required resources. In the fourth year, we start registration of the youth and age bracket. In the fourth year, we have implementation. Most so, we as team government, we argue that lowering age will increase the youth participation in politics and give them a voice in shaping their future. We see that when the government lowers the voting age, we see that it will increase the participation of youth in voting. We see that the youth will be also engaged in voting and they participate in democracy. We as team proposition, we have our arguments like empowerment and ownership. We have reference and practically. We have democratic skills. We as team proposition, in Uganda, there is already a challenge of withdraw voter turnout among young people. I rest my case, but I not arrest my case.
Thank you, the table of judges, the two competitive sides, plus you, the audience. As she has told you that the resolution is this parliament will lower the voting age, but I don't agree with that because of the following points. Here, it is hard to campaign in what? In schools. So, if Museveni comes like in our school, Mwamba Junior, people will be distracted from their lessons to Museveni, going to start saying Museveni. Then they are from learning, they are to Museveni. So they have to mind at learning which brought them at school. So if you say that they should lower the voting age, and the runners who are still in schools should go to vote, so Museveni will come in the school, they will be disrupted from learning. Not granted. From learning. She has told us that these people... Granted.
Don't you think that also in schools people learn about democracy.
But they are being disrupted because they be learning. Then the Museveni will come that Museveni, you give me votes, so you want to win, and I give you money. Then they be disrupted from running. Understood? Then another point is that these runners will not granted. These runners will follow their parents and TikTok trends. Not granted. If they follow TikTok trends, like you find on TikTok you find there Bob Wine saying that I mean Museveni and Songa Yoweri. So if those children listen to them, they be happy, then they try to follow Museveni, and then they are being disrupted. Even they don't know whom they are supporting, they just support because of TikTok. Even they follow their parents. If my father is supporting Museveni, why don't I support Museveni? I have to support. Granted.
Don't you think that the Parliament of Uganda will think of those children and will put the time of voting not in the time of study?
Then the syllabus will be disrupted. The parents, if my father is supporting Museveni, I have to also support Museveni because my father is the supporter of Museveni. So, with those, I rest my case. Thank you, our dear judges.
Second speaker, team proposition.
I begin my speech in 3, 2, 1. Resolved. The table of judges, worthy opponents, and esteemed audience, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is Akatuzu Nadelik. Today I stand firmly on the proposition side of this debate. And the resolution before us, this House believes that the Parliament of voting age. Dear adjudicators, allow me to first rebuttal on these points outlined by the opposition side. Distraction from studies. We as team proposition, we see that these people were totally lying the entire house, because you cannot tell me that in schools or in government constitutions there is no time for studying. Dear adjudicators, allow me to outline my views in equality. Increases youth engagement. Give youth people a voice in shaping their future and encourage civic participation. In Uganda, civic participation might mean participating in local governance, advocating for communities' needs, or promoting social justice and strong institutions. Dear adjudicators, opposition side, calm down. Youth force matters. 50% of Uganda's population is under 18. Here you will find that the number of people in a country is under 18 and below, whereby they will get raw votes which will lead to malpractice. The table of judges, I rest my case, but I don't arrest my case.
Thank you. First and foremost, I want first to rebuttal with the proposer. You have said that it takes time. Yes. My colleague has told you that when they come to schools, they disrupt the syllabus. In the time of education, there are some disruptions because of those campaigns. My view number one: these peoples are easily influenced. Here I mean young voters like people of 16 and 17 years. When you are like a father of that child, you tell him that let's go to vote, we'll ask you that, what do you want? To vote for who? Chagulanyi? Yes, and you go and he votes for that person. Yet he's supposed to be taking the part himself, and he's going to be influenced by the parents. They are going to be not. It will not be democracy also. Focus should be on schools. Age 16 to 17 is senior 4 and senior 6. Learning trends, politics, and disrupt from exams. Yeah, I mean, when a person from senior 4 or senior 5 goes to those campaigns, because he's also in those years of 16, he will be disrupted, and his education will be also disrupted, and he will not get his aim goal. Granted.
How do campaigns disrupt people's?
I pass it to my next colleague. It could cause or increase. It could cause or increase tribalism. Here I mean, when I'm a Munyankore and I find that they are the Baganda and the Banyankore going to be voted, I will vote for the Banyankore, and I find that when there is most Baganda, and I will also say that these people know they are going to vote for my opponent, and so on. Thank you.
Well, thank you for that speech. Let's have the next speaker.
Good afternoon, respected adjudicators, two competitive chambers, plus the esteemed audience. My name is Amumbile Comfort, the third speaker from the government team. First, the table of judges allow me rebuttal on the points which were given out by my opponents. They have said that when pupils take part, then the Parliament of Uganda reduces the voting age, pupils will be distracted from their studies. But we as team government, we see that pupils will not be distracted from their studies. For example, this 2026, we voted. Did we vote in the time of schools? No, we were not yet to begin our schools as the voting time was. They have told us that pupils will be easily influenced. How will pupils be easily influenced? You know, even pupils have their problems which bother them. Will you tell me that a child has been suffering for all these years and for now has got a chance to vote, will go there and just vote for what the parent wants, yet the parent was voting and was still suffering? That means the pupil will do what will favor him or her. They have told us that those pupils will just, when the politicians come in their schools, they will go singing, Eshungayoeri. They will not go singing. Those pupils know that they have to focus on their studies, and the politicians will not be as, they will know that pupils are studying. You won't tell me that a politician like President Museveni himself will come in a school to distract the pupils, yet knows that they are studying. He will come in the time like of games to find them at the pitch. That's where he will ask his votes. But you won't tell me that will come in class and get them out because wants votes. Granted.
Have you been listening? I have not said that they were singing. Instead, I say that they watch TikTok trends, then they find there the songs of Eshongayowen. But I never say that those young kids are the ones who sing. So if
they find those songs, willn't they go in the compound and sing? They will be singing. That's what I have said. They will see the TikTok videos and they will sing. That's what I have said. I was hearing clearly, please, sir. The table of judges allow me to supplement on the points which were given out by my side. We have said young voice matters, and indeed the young voice matters. How does it matter? You know, the biggest percentage in Uganda, people are like on 16 to 18. There is a low turning up of voting because the low number of people in Uganda, they are the people above 18. And the more population is left at home because they are not given a chance to vote. But if they are given a chance to vote, that means they will have the voice to speak, to do what's right, and go on the polling station and vote for a person whom they want. Please, table of judges, take note of that the opponents were telling us that the pupils will not go on the polling stations. We as team government say that we have already won this debate, and our worthy opponents, please, we call you to move from the land of misery that you are in and join us in the peaceful land. With those, I rest my case.
The judges, I would like to begin my debate in 3, 2, 1. First of all, I would like to answer the question they have asked my colleague. Just repeat for me your question. Repeat for me your question.
Me as the proposition side, I see that he was not attentive to listen on my question. Yeah.
Okay, I would like to disagree with the farmer where she has said that most people in Uganda are the ones below the age of 18. Have you ever counted them? You are just lying, as you girl. But even if they are below the age of 18, the ones who are above the age of 18, they are the ones who have more experience in voting. Not granted. Not granted. And you have asked that how do the lessons disrupt the classes. He has told you that when like President Museveni comes in our school and he starts campaigning, the pupils will be disrupted. And when you have came here, you have started lying us that Museveni will not be wanting to disrupt the lessons. He will be knowing that the pupils are learning. Okay, if he's knowing that the pupils are learning, why would he be supposed to come at school? And as my colleague has said that, granted.
How do campaigners disrupt pupils at school?
You are not attention. I have told you that if Museveni, you are not attentive. I have told you that if Museveni comes like at school and finds the children learning, all of them will be seeing him not learning, and you are there again asking it to me. Don't waste my time. And I would like even to supplement on my colleague's view where he has said that here it promotes tribalism. He was trying, not granted. He was trying to mean that like if these people come at school and they want the pupils to vote, instead of the pupils participating in their work, they will just participate on those things, and you'll find like a Muganda seeing a Munyankole and says, I cannot vote for that Museveni. I'll either vote for Kyagulanyi. Not granted. And you have told us that you were suffering for all these years. How have you been suffering? Not granted. How have you been suffering? You are just lying us that you have been suffering for those all of the years that you are not voting. Are you the first one in the world below 18 not voting? Granted.
What is the difference between the Baganda and the Banyankole?
They speak different languages. And even they have said that when politicians come in schools, I would like to rest my case.
Thank you, the table of judges. I'm back here from the opposition side. Me as the first speaker, when I've come here, I've told you that it is hard to run campaigns in schools. These people are saying that it is not hard because it won't disrupt lessons. Please, know that the schools have timetables. Like at school, in P7 we have timetables. From morning to break, they are teachers' lessons. From break to lunch, they are teachers' lessons. From lunch to evening, they are teachers' lessons. So if they say that they had come and I know you would have come saying that the teacher will say that okay, let's leave this day for what? For campaigning. But no, that teacher who was supposed to be in that in that lesson will be disrupted. So don't again say that how will they be disrupted? You are asking my colleague many times, yet you are not attentive. Then the second was maturity concerns. He was trying to explain you. I have heard some of you saying that the older people have the low percentage in the country Uganda. I'm begging for 5 seconds. 2. With those, I rest my case. Thank you, our judges.
Thank you for
I begin my speech in 3, 2, 1, 0. The table of judges, I'm back to give the reply speech from the proposition side, and my name back is APIRL Patricia. Dear panel, allow me to supplement on the points given by the proposition side. The proposition side has come and told us that it will not disrupt pupils from studies. Yes, it will not disrupt them from the studies, because pupils already have timetables of going at the pitch, going where, and the
Brian. Konga imuyono mupozi gano meshi tuzakora. Yono mundambareba munsobera. Jero tirra. Batsenga. Tishabanza izambanze niwe. Iraha dre. Okay kari, thank you so much mwenda kanda baryono batureba kando bino manko kutubentu kugambira. Today izoba murindwa, finally we are here. Country yon tureba na mnonga ekitongore cha Icon Ibanda Community Organization Network kandi debate yomurundo gwa kashatu. It is happening today. Tachiro kuranga kundi, in case you're right over there. So it means that you're late. So kandi if you're on your way, then you're on time. So konka erizoba obeno manyanti niza kubanza ndebe participants batara bamwena bamwe basically abari omuryechi and turebe and exactly why. Kuboka bachera, you're most welcome.
It's my pleasure. My name is Mwembe Chelonat, patron Bijera Secondary School. And I've come with the winning team, of course, who we shall win. Yeah. We speak what they speak not, and we expect to go with the trophy. Debate, public speech, storytelling, news anchoring, have all teams, and we shall go with all trophies. I'm confident with that. I know we shall make it. I've come and we shall speak English. Yes, only English. Yes.
Eza bigereji imabata kujumanya deba neshangwa kuriya zakashanguro ko hasi koko bari nkoko hasi nkokwe konga bakugira ngo nibenda kusibara bagari ruzungu. It means ngo bari serious ekintu ekintu bakimanya mwacenga. Aha, they can't andike no guturebe.
Thank you so much, sir. So we are Bijala Debate Club. My name is Ravina Trevor, the Debate Club speaker. So we are here as the Debate Club. Basically, we have different aims and different purposes with different goals, majorly to achieve what we want. Basically, who are here, we need the trophy.
So what should we expect today?
Of course, what we should expect today. One, we
from
have
Bijala.
From Bijala, a battle. And that battle is likely to have all trophies with us. If it is a debate trophy, we have it already. If it is the public speech trophy, we must aim for it. If it is the poetry trophy, we must get it. If it is the news anchoring trophy, because we have all the speakers who can present and they represent our school. Basically,
who will represent the news anchoring? Can I have someone here?
Here.
So you come over, then you can maybe give us a bit of it.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. My name is Kamkama Fred Tabakochi. Thank you for hosting us. We are representing Bijara Secondary School in this icon, and I know we are going to battle with all of these students that I'm seeing here. So all the trophies, we want them. Yeah.
Okay, can you sample us part of the news? Just exactly what happened here.
A very good morning, everyone. It is 2 a.m. on the watch. Right now we are in Ibanda University, where we are seeing people are organized and everyone is on his or her own business. So we are seeing some of the students from different schools, whereby we see Bijara Secondary School, we see Ibanda Secondary School, and all of them, they are here purposely to battle with a trophy of news anchoring.
Deka tuachire omshachi wetu wa makuru wachenga. How are you? Onogambazi?
I'm all right.
Yes.
Yo.
Yo. Okay, mwetebe kanisa mta basically wizoberi.
Itwe wizoberi. So the first one I sang the Almighty God because it's my first time to be here in Ibanda University. Yeah. So I sang.
Have you ever been here before?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. So I sang the Almighty God so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Akali, umetaka achire mpangare yona nakutanjira. How are you?
I'm okay. Yeah, my name is Ampaire Trina, and the purpose that we have come here to have trophies. Then me, I stand as a poetess, and we have to present our school positively, and we have to be perfect in everything. Then I thank everybody that is here because we have cooperated at our school and practiced. Then we are eager to present today before our school.
Okay. So what should we expect? Is that benariba watoroka kuriya wiza kunoi?
So I greet everyone. My name is Navasa Rebecca, the debate club president, Bijara Secondary School. And first and foremost, I thank our patrons, Madam Ruth and Tisha Mwambech. I thank you all for being with us and all the club members. Today we expect to take all the trophies all around. Yeah, poetry, news anchoring, storytelling, debate, and especially debate. We want everything because we can speak English as you can listen, and everyone has given their bit as in speaking English. So we expect Bijara Secondary School being the best in all around. I mean, at the international level, we want to take all the trophies.
Okay, thank you. Let's watch the space and maybe then we shall tell the feel. Because this vigor and this motivation really tells us exactly what will be in that very building. So, and we expect much more today. This is Bijara Secondary School, and they are here already. So see you there. So, and let the debate begin.
Hallelujah.
Okay, thank you so much. Kandi mwena bariyo no batureba kandi obeno manyanti turiyaha basically Icon Debate Championship kandi amashomero gatara gamwe na gamwe okurigira kimwe mu district ya Ibanda. So it is happening today and it is going down here at Ibanda University. I can't remember kandi rizoba amashomero gatara gamwe na gamwe, they have really taken part into this kandi rizoba tuinaba anyakatukura. Ninza kubaza ndebe basically nora aburiyo mwe na manyangu is a champion into this kandi ntwenda turebe bo betebekanise bata na mnonga for today's debate. Nakutangira Madam Oriot.
Ndio. Chatetan Icon Debate competitions, we have to take part in debate, news anchoring, storytelling, poetry, and we are well prepared.
So to expecting it, what should we expect from Nyakatukura?
Fire.
Fire. So what should we expect?
I expect to shine, fire, because we all that is needed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so imemwetebekanisa mta, let me look at this one. Oyetebekanisa for this debate.
We are prepared to make the perfect. And we know that we are going to make it by God's grace.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. They are prepared. Oriotash.
I'm prepared to give out my best, and I'm also ready to learn in any given aspect. I'm ready to learn from my fellows, and also to show what I can do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, I have that expertise and competence which I will showcase to the public, and also I'm ready to achieve more in this debate, and we are also ready to learn from my fellows which I don't have actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and what should we expect from you basically?
Through a series of training, I can say the team is ready. Basically, we are here to put a performance, a competition, and most of all to learn. In this competition, majorly you come here to learn one or two from your fellows and also showcase what you can do.
Okay.
Yes.
Lizoba kanoshana ngo nomurrogo yenyini. Madam, what should we expect from Nyakatukura?
You should expect us to perform better, and we are well prepared. We've been training. We hope for the best.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, as I had told you earlier, let the debate begin. It is basically a crossfire here at Ibanda University, so you just watch the space. Kali. No Miyaga? Really? Okay, Kali, thank you so much. Kandi mwenda bari yono batureba, and remember Kanda Icon Debate competitions at Ibanda University, and so many schools are taking part into this one. And remember, this is the third of its kind, and it is going down today. It's a very good Saturday morning. Akandi bino manyanta mashomero gataga mwena gamo already they are here. So notuza kureba akandi nyina haba Equatorial College School. Akandi bo obeno manyanta bo bakicherezana bagira ngo mwe nitwacho kugira ngo cha debate. We have been doing it. So last time though bikagenda nko kubyabire byenzere, but they really had I think the best presentations. Makaika finals, right? Yeah, they got to the finals, but of course buchena buche obwabiremu, but this time around bagarikirenyuma they sat back, reflected, and they energized, and they are ready to battle. So ninza kureba irizoba bobe tebekanise bata for this debate. How are you?
I'm fine.
You tebekanise for this debate.
I'm well equipped as my patrons trained me, and I'm ready for this tournament.
Okay. What should we expect?
We should expect the best, especially God's will, but it's a win or a win.
A win or a win?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
We are not here to lose.
Okay. Okay. You either win or win. Yes. Okay.
We rehearsed enough, made practice, and hope to do the best out of us.
Okay.
Yes.
Hey. For this debate.
Yeah, we are well equipped, we are well prepared for this tournament. As we said, as we say, and we shall always say, we either win or win, and we're here to debate for solutions.
They either win or win. What does it mean? Which means they are here to win.
I think we have adequate training and maybe preparation, so we expect a win.
Don't you want to lose?
No. We have prepared adequately, meaning we expect to achieve the best at the end of the day.
Okay. Karim, how have you prepared these learners?
We did our best. We did our best when it came to poetry. They came for consultations. We practiced actually, yeah, and I think they're ready this time round. Yeah.
So we should expect a win.
Yeah, and I expect teamwork and discipline. And I believe that this competition is not all about just the kids battling up there. No, it's about building talent and building connection with the others. So yeah.
Okay. See you in the battle.
See you.
You didn't know? Nakureterisho mero kandi ya Chitagwenda High School, kind of course where I happen to be even an OB, you can imagine. So I'm an OB of this very school, yeah. So kandi obeno manya turiyo debate competitions, basically turiyo tureba mashomero gataraga mwena gamwe kandi gariyo ngiza akandi debate eji organized by Icon, Ibanda Community Organization Network, and as you see, it is still very early in the morning, but they have already made it to this very place. It is a battle. Everyone is expecting a win. I can't be more than that. We must win. But of course, at the end of the day, we will get only one winner. But I have to arrest your fears that you may not be the first runners up, or you may not be the winner or the second runners up, but at least no tahori umuhanguzi hona shana no na poetry nerema na presentation nerema. At least there are so many awards akanda barukuremwa. They at least go with the certificates, medals, name them.
We are prepared to win today because we have the all needful to take it all. Yes, okay. That's what I expect. I expect to win. Yes.
So in my debate,
we are more than prepared, by the way, with everything that it takes for winning today's debate, as must. So we have made research, we have made everything, we have called everything that it takes to have it today, our day. Yeah.
You will not know leading into what?
I'll be a debater, basically the second speaker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kali, thank you. Oriot?
Very fine.
So you take any sort for this debate?
I'm very prepared. Take this trophy. I will debate well. I will succeed. I know I have come here to win, and I think my school will take the trophy.
Okay.
Yes.
Chitagwenda. How prepared
Yeah.
are you?
We are very well prepared because you are not ill equipped. We are equipped with everything it costs for us to take on off this debate, and we are rest assured we must win.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a must. It is a must. Now kutanjira.
Wabari Mikato Smith and Aaron Cannon patron wa debate club Kitagwenda High School. Most of the schools zinahaha kano sangisho mere yajangu have come to participate. Ito Kitagwenda High School twiza participating. We have come to win. But I think these two teams are already prepared. We have brought specifically debaters for now. And for long, we see this icon cuts across most of the districts. We believe as Kitagwenda we have fully represented, and as Kitagwenda High School, we are ready to look at all these schools that kurga Ibanda, kurga Kazo, kurga Kamwenge na Zachurhura. We believe from what we have equipped these people, these learners, they are going to give us the best as the overall winners.
Okay. Ibanda University, remember akandi n'umurundo gwa kashatu turukora debate ni yemwe yo muringo nkogu konka obeno manyanti debates tutire ntukora na mnonga mashomero ga primaries tubistaka considering we have not considered them yet, but this time around, and remember the first one was a pilot study, the second was to see how it can go, but this time around twajang no. Even schools, primary schools can also be part of this debate. Kuonka bo tabaza kudebatingana na aba bashaha bakuru apana. Bobi ine category eyabo kana mnonga eya primary schools, and remember kandi nyine banywani bito aba St Mary's okurugera chumwe kuri yarukiri atware umuntu yargarukira akasibo muri Ibanda University riyare nono manyangwe cha mureta ni kibani kisinga yo mnonga imwe mwetebekanise muta debate ji
twetebekanise kusinga omudari kandi abwa confidence yitwine n'ebintu ebitwine.
Okay, bona boro biza kutwara omudari weze omudari nomugwenda ninga just iza kurambura
buzima ntugwenda
iwe oyetebekanise otankiwe
nyowe nkozere research ekwemarira kureba ntu asinga omudari.
Okay, iwe yetebekanise ota
nyowe nkozere research eri kumara nabatisha banje bakunyambaho so nkiza ntu kusinga
kana boka bagira mani minji weza mani yo nogehura mogine
mazuma nginego
hati ya to expecting ekerizo
to expecting kureba katwena kuturya twasinga kandi twagena nebera birungi.
Okay, debating kezo be wazigire muninga this is the first time.
This is the first time.
Okay. Hatu wasanga omuntu ngi it is the first time konka ine echikonfide no tuchete echikonfide mwachenga iwe yetebekanise otaweza
nyo kinje zokora research koze research kumara nabegesa banje bokunyambaho kandi ko kutwiza twine confident eri kumara twine namani tuza kusinga kandi tuza kugena n'ekikopo.
Abana bambatebekanise mutakani ndebi confident yarenga
mwe bare mnonga batfurikirize itoye nk'abashomesa babo tukoze research yo kumara twabakora trainings zikwemarira bona binama siko go kugira ngo baza kusinga ese chikopo kandi baza gukora ibintu bikubasika yego bakushye.
Akari director imabana mbatebekanise muta and two ahabwe nchabana nabazomizano nkeje hina banta bokushanga ngo mizano nkeje already abo they don't even take part and they don't consider them.
Awe bare munonga aba radio n'abatwurishirize twashemererwa ukoreba ni St Mary's nkishemero primary school rishiri tuyizo muri Ibanda n'abeji bitu kandi biza kureba one kureba environment ya university Ibanda University. 2 kurebana n'abandi bana ku rw'u mashomera gandi. 3 kuraneta hunu yawe Ibanda abo kuba erhi kuba city. So nabwo twashemererwa namwe na radio nziza kurabaho turebe mbereke radio yeje kweri babyetegereze tukora mu yone mutwata tagira ngo no businje mwe n'abana aba bantire mu mani minji bayetebekana sambe nintekateka kwa biro kostere biro musente nyinji konka kunde berengere bayemba mbafayo mbatereza najyanta mwe n'abana aba reka tuge saba mabanza na nebindi kurebeka ngo abana abaza wa presentinga rero bagire kibiyama nko kurigirira kungubana ko kubetereza hebikopa muzagoro kagwe abako bandi biza participatinga omu area zona abako ba nko kutubandi manyongwa beji tabakaza mushintu kimwe bona bakamanya ikintu kimwe so nibiza ku competingira omu debate bagiheze bakompetingira poem bagiheze baza speech bagiheze nebindi byona ebatebekanise so betebekanise na semerwa nabwe nindaga n'amashomero gariyo nigiza mbwe n'abazire abaryo kabine za TV abine za radio zona muzitekoho noza kubarwa hurumwana aho yatandika kubukura atora zungu rw'umucyaro rwa St Mary's na Rishiri ati nzagamburwa muri bande zobere namwe n'abana bakabasaka babino bundu bukorokoro butebekine mwe mungambira abana mbarabyo ho mbateka mwasoda bagambire naho kumuroko bagamba otherwise abo muri bando ngabina abana bazire bitinto basima n'abazira abana yebsheke bindi so muza TV West muza Radio Frembe muza bona ntazakubaro abana banye bari muri bana hata basiba mbazagara konka ahantu hona mwe bare munonga nyenda kusimana n'umwambi tature agwentebekana seji nyenda kusima administration Ibanda University agwentebekana seji ne yamba abana confidence mwana imanya ayihurira amanyati ni masagambo mbantu hata kumara yayihurira no bembeze banyekaraba bazaka baro ba minister baro ba basokugana kwa president manyabo abo kuba ekintu nkitanira hansi kiguma nkikura mwata kumanya kwegamba ho ari primary takwegamba hari so ni kaje hango nkiza kubaya one kumanya nabagenzi babo tukurabina kugira ngo mbemera bagamba mishoga na cyane basa kubayamba kugira ngo umuntu yagamba ngapowe mu manja kana arigo mukozi wa zapowe mu ayamaka sente a good debater nchaka na wona ari nka programa ninga ba muntu wa mano mu debate si usanga nafuna ka sente so nchiza kubayamba muringo yona na kandi cyamba nabazire bahuruma mu muzire ahuruma wona agamba namwe ninjagaje kanza kuyabana binji kunibana next year ya urumwa wona agamba ruzungu inge murtageza rwacharo St Mary's kandi riya n'abantu ruzungu rwo barumanya akandi hatimwe cyo rakore no kuranga waye kumira hame kutuyiteji kandi tuzakuba tu live akandi wahura byone birabe bigendo misho ohurira abantu kubara fomfozo ruzungu mwana we icon debate competitions kandi amashomero gataragamwe nagamo already kandi gariyaha munyikirize kandi muri yaga majingo ishomero bari tangu de chapena ni shongoro high school nkonka ryo n'urushongozi n'urushongo mu debate jini ryenda kusugaba ryashongora batahi baryo tyo rekegarigerayo so nutwenda turebe basically bo betebekanise bata na munonga habwa debate ni yemweji. Where do I start from? Oyetebekanise
I am prepared to win, not to lose.
To win, not to lose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, according to the research I made, of course I know I will win, I will not lose. Yeah, so that's how I'm prepared for this debate. Thank you.
Okay. You debated your Jetebekanise. What should we expect?
We will be the best.
You will be the best?
Yeah.
Okay, why?
Because the research you made was very enough. Yeah.
Hey. Hati, nyoti hinabintebi kwenda kwereberaho.
Yeah, my name is Blessed, so like my name, I can't really lose. I must win.
Okay. Hati tabi namazina gariyaho katwafu.
We are so prepared and we know we are going to do it. The thing is like this. We know we have got the qualities and we are capable. That's all.
Okay. Wajira ngoriota?
Me, I'm Aliho Kailex. So I'm very, very
extremely happy because I know today we are going to make it, and like not about researches, yes, but according to how we lay our strategies, for sure we are going to make it today. That's it.
Okay, kana hatinyo orowoza nzenganye atina yanga abana mbatebekanisa muta and two I have going to basically debates in case
you see these debates, they help in shaping our students, like I have said. Ishongoro is the sharpener. So this is to add on what teachers are doing. We are well prepared because we've given this a lot of time. We've taken time preparing, so we've come to win, not to lose. Thank you.
Okay, Ishongoro High School kandi betebekanisa kureba ngo by all means, no matter what, akandi ba winning this very trophy, akandi taro byugira ngo manya byakatoreze nkahe ninga byayanga ninga byagira bita urujungu hata no bakamabarwa. Niriza ko yaha kano za kuba noryerebera kandi basic aragaga yon participating into the icon debate competitions. Thank you so much Dr. Patrick Bitature, Asimba group of companies, Rwenzori FM, Miracle and so many other partners, Ibanda University, and for hosting us for all this time round. Omwaka gwa kshatu you're hosting us. Thank you so much. So nyene team okuruga harimo amba junior kandi basically ntwenda turebe nangwa nabo naba primary kandi nabo bari mu category area yenyini ya primary ina kushoborera so ntwenda turebe bo betebekanise bata na mnonga habwa debate AG one by one. Oyetebekanisa
we are prepared, we got practices and we are just waiting for the competition. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Expecting it.
We are very prepared for taking the trophies and the medals. Yeah.
Okay. Niwe yetebekanise jeriyari?
Yes.
Amazina uryo?
Aikobo Asha.
So yetebekanisa for this debate.
I'm just ready to win. Yes.
Okay. Abana mbatebekanise muta na mnonga for this.
Thank you so much. As you have been hearing from them, they're only talking about winning. You see, they don't have even much words to say. Only they are waiting for is taking the trophy. So we have been teaching them different aspects. We have been training them. Way back they had Excel and they participated in Excel. And last year we took the trophy. We are the defending champions. So by the virtue of the other vigor of taking the other trophy way back, so we have that power and we have that energy and we believe in God. With God we shall make it and we shall have to take this trophy. Thanks to Mr. Triasingula Vincent, our head teacher. He's a good man. He has been there to facilitate us and we are here because of him. So great thanks to him and our school, Mamba Junior Primary School.
Okay. Kali, thank you so much kandi obeno manyanga na yon category basically ya primary akana nabo bari mu debate ni mweji ya icon kandi ntuza ko expecting abinji munonga ebira beno biri mu room mweji so omudakikanje munonga what will be in this very room. I will just be vocabulary, the battle of languages and so many others, so you better watch the space.
That's how adjudication becomes very. The judges say that all teams were very good, but on ground of a principal argument, they agreed that the next team would proceed. Okay? In another room where you had purple, where is purple? And red, where is red? What's your school name? St. Paul's Igora. And to tell you, St. Paul's Igora was a very good debate team during our days, as in primary 2006 and up to 2015. Where is red? Okay. And where is purple? Judges agreed that red will let purple proceed to finals. Okay, purple come. So now finals this very afternoon for primary category. Judges make for me some ballot of affirmative, negative. Council Ayebale. We see who picks the side. Okay, Okay, come faster, please. Purple, purple. Those who are in purple team, come. Is that purple? Which team is that? Purple. Yes, come faster. And red. So from now, St. Paul's, Igora will verse St. Mary's. St. Mary's what? St. Mary's Primary School. Where? Ruchiri. They're all from Ibanda South. Okay. So the municipality, the Ibanda North, pull up your socks. Okay. You will come. One of you will come and pick the sides, whether to be in proposition or opposition. One of your teammates, please. Team captains, be broad and pick the side. Who has our final motion? You come and tell the judges what you picked. St. Paul's in St. Paul's now. St. Paul's. Okay, St. Paul's is in affirmative, which is traditional proposition, or which is sometimes called government. And St. Mary's is in opposition, negators. Sometimes people want to call them negative. They're in a negative side, but their case is definitely positive. Okay? Okay, that this house believes that, our final motion is this house believes that primary schools curriculum should be competence-based in a bid to achieve SDG 16. I think your motion has an inflow slide. St. Paul's Igora is in proposition and St. Mary's Ruchili in opposition. Breaking to finals, we have a very good panel of 5 judges. Breaking first is Council
Preparation time for semi-finals of senior categories done. So any person who wants to watch, it is time we can go.
Okay, we have Council Susan. Susan is a law student from Bishop Stewart University. Is going to be the chair of this final round of primary school. We have Council Ruchila Ayebali. Is also a lawyer in making. We have Engineer Joel. Is going to be our final finalist. Has seen these teams progress from preliminary rounds. We have Ferris. Ferris is going to be a humble judge, but her decisions may not be humble. And we have Ainebiona Marvin. Ainebiona Marvin is going to be a panelist in a final debate. And they are going to see if the right team actually takes it. Regardless, teams prepare, and then the panel will be ready to listen to you. And at the end of the day, we shall find who is the winner. Team name proposition, St. Paul's Igora. Okay, I will give them to you. Okay, team, we have St. Paul's Igora versus St. Mary's Ruchiri, and they are here for finals. The audience, we expect you to be ready for finals and watch them when they are giving us the best case. Okay? With no any other further ado, I want to take this insurmountable pressure and tell you that the finals is on. The rest is to the judges. I think they will use here. You submit your speak names to the judges.
No, just one teams.
Yes, St. Paul's Igora versus St. Mary's Ruchili and the South.
St. Paul's in affirmative.
And St. Mary's in the open.
Versus St. Mary's Ruchili. St. Paul's, St. Mary's.
So good evening once again.
There is a white switch. They could use
4, 3, 3, 1. 4 minutes for the first speaker, 3 for the second, 3 for the third, 1 for the third.
Well, so for purposes of this round, we are going to have 4 minutes for the first speaker, 3 minutes for the next 2 speakers, and 1 minute for the reply speech. And if there is no any other question, I can have the first speaker from the farmer side. Yeah, you're going to speak from the middle, and they're going to give you the big microphone.
I begin my speech. In 3, 2, 1. Resolved. This House believes that primary school's curriculum should be competence-based in a bid to achieve SDG 16. Our dear judges, allow me first explain our key words. Curriculum. Curriculum is a system or structure of what students should study and how it should be taught. A competence-based curriculum is a curriculum that focuses on learners' practical skills and abilities, attitudes and values, not just memorizing information. Status quo. Currently, Uganda uses knowledge-based curriculum that focuses on learners cramming and memorizing information. What is SDG 16? This is a target of the United Nations derived from the 17 UN goals to be achieved by 2030. SDG 16 focuses on peace and inclusive societies, justice for all and effective accountability. Argument 1. CBC focuses on collaboration and teamwork during learning, which promotes peace and inclusivity. Not granted. Peace and inclusivity in SDG 16. How does this achieve SDG 16? It helps learners to fight corruption when they become good leaders in future. In future, learners end things like racism, discrimination, segregation, and conflict in society. For example, vulnerable groups, e.g. the lame, people with disabilities, and people with different colors can work together and promote better leadership and development. Argument 2. CBC focuses on integrity. CBC focuses on integrity and respect. Panel, leaders who are corrupt now lack integrity and respect, which are taught in CBC. POI. Not granted. CBC promotes the principle of inclusivity. CBC recognizes the children. Granted.
What is the difference between integrity and respect?
Integrity is when someone does something in time and when it's supposed to be done. And respect is showing honor to someone else. CBC recognizes that children are different and have different talents. Our case benefits. It creates problem solvers, it improves innovation and creativity, which promotes job creators, not job seekers. Our dear judges, we rest our case.
Well, thank you so much for that beautiful speech. Let me have the speaker from the opposition side.
I begin my speech in 3, 2. I begin my speech in 3, 2, 1, and 0. The table of judges, honorable opponents, and esteemed audience, good afternoon. My name is Atayre Patricia. alongside Akachuna Derek as the second speaker and Amumpaye Comfort as the third speaker. Today, I stand firmly on the opposition side of this debate, and the resolution before us is this House believes that the primary school curriculum should be competence-based in a bid to achieve SDG 16. Dear panel, allow me disagree with what the proposition side has said. We have, in our key points, we have primary school curriculum, the set of subject and learning objectives for students in primary schools. We have competence-based. Competence-based is an educational approach focusing on students demonstrating specific skills rather than just passing exams. We as team opposition, we set our parameters in Uganda and sat down and found out as a status quo that states that currently Uganda's education system might struggle with adequate teachers training resources and infrastructure to effectively implement a competence-based curriculum like illiteracy and numeracy, if not based properly. Competence-based education often requires more resources like technology and training, which could strain Uganda's education budget. We see that a competence-based curriculum needs a competence-based because pupils learn more skills and they are able to practice them in their future. We as team opposition, we are prioritizing knowledge-based curriculum which aim on theory, knowledge, and this when put in practice, we can achieve SDG 16. Offer emphasis on skills. Implementation challenges. Focus on institutional outcomes. Dear educators, allow me rest my case, but not arrest it.
I begin my speech in 3, 2, 1. Panel, allow me to first rebut with what the negators have told us. The negators have told us that once Uganda tries to look for teachers who know CBC more better, such that they should implement it in schools, it will reduce on Uganda's budget. In which way, as we all know, that Uganda has a financial budget. So how will those teachers be able to reduce Uganda's budget? So we say that instead of Uganda looking for those teachers, it can take its own teachers for workshops to train them. So if it trains its own teachers, it will be able to increase on its budget instead of reducing it. Not granted, please. Also, panel, I would like to continue by strengthening what our first speaker has said. The first speaker has told you that. Not granted, please. The first speaker has told you that competence-based education promotes peaceful conflict resolution. I would like to tell you that peaceful societies require individuals who manage conflicts without violence. Competence-based learning teaches communication, empathy, cooperation, and dialogue skills. These skills help learners to understand different problems and solve disagreements peacefully. Allowed.
Don't you think the government will lack funds to take all the teachers in the country for workshops?
In which way? Yet it has a proper planning. I would like to also tell you that these skills help learners to understand different problems and resolve them. It helps these learners to solve disagreements peacefully without ignorance but with violence. Dear judges, I can't rest my case.
I begin my speech in D-E-R-O. Good afternoon, respected adjudicators, honorable opponents, and esteemed audience. Ladies and gentlemen, My name is Akatuzu Nadelik. Today I stand firmly on the opposition side of this debate. And the resolution before us, this House believes that the primary school curriculum should be competence-based to achieve SDG 16. Dear educators, allow me to first argue on the points outlined by these speakers. They say that teachers will always spend money on bringing teachers who will train about practical skills. They better go for workshop. Don't you see that these people in schools, they are lacking funds to get money? They are lacking funds to go for workshop. Dear table of judges, allow me to outline my views in equality. Overemphasis on skills. Please, proposition side, calm down. Overemphasis on skills. These people, they will just focus on skills other than going in.
These points of information.
Rejected. Other than going in class to read their books. Implement challenges. Here I mean, pupils will lack resources to make practical skills like weaving baskets. They will lack papyrus readers, which will read them to not practice in practical skills. Focus on institutional outcomes. SDG number 16 targets governance and justice systems. A curriculum shifts might not directly influence institutions' development unless paired with bordered social reforms. Dear educators, allow me to rest my case, but not arrest my case.
Well, thank you so much. Can I have the last speaker?
I begin my speech in 3, 2, 1. Resolved. I would like first to rebut the points of the negators, where they have said that there is lack of money for going for workshops. I want to tell you that they are also supported by UN because it is the introducer. It will not let CBC not to be introduced in schools, yet it has a lot of money to do so. It will not granted, please. It will support them in order for it to be achieved. Not granted, please. CBC focuses on collaboration and teamwork during learning. How does this achieve SDG 16? It promotes peace and inclusivity in SDG 16. In future, not granted, please. In future, competence-based curriculum equips learners to end things like racism, discrimination, segregation, and conflicts in society. Vulnerable groups, for example, the lame, the poor, people of different colors, they will have teamwork, which promotes the leadership in future. If those people have teamwork, they will easily promote leadership in future. It's not saying that they will lack resources of doing so. No, it will easily promote that. They learn how to become effective and accountable in future when they are in government departments. If CBC is introduced, they will learn skills of leadership. They will easily be able to lead when they are employed in government departments. In case they are employed in government departments in future. Context-based curriculum promotes the principle of inclusivity in schools. Context-based curriculum recognizes that children are different and have different talents. Context-based curriculum, it promotes inclusivity. How? You can find there is a there is a child who makes 4 in the class, and there is that one who loses in class or is the last one in class. But CBC, it promotes inclusivity. It enables that child to show his or her talents, and that child will be included, not neglected. But if CBC is not there, that child will easily be neglected. So CBC promotes inclusivity. Other benefits of CBC: it creates problem solvers in real life. It improves innovation and creativity, which promotes job creation but not job seeking. It provides more practical skills. It promotes skill development like communication, patriotism, teamwork, which are good for SDG 16. Our dear judges, we rest our case.
Good evening, respected adjudicators, 2 competitive chambers, plus the esteemed audience. My name is Amumpile Comfort, the third speaker from the opposition team. First of all, the table of judges, allow me to rebuttal on the points which were given out by my opponent. They have said that when there is content-based curriculum in primary schools, pupils will collaborate and will have teamwork. But no, we as team opposers see that they will not have teamwork and collaboration, because they will not be having that time to go and talk to each other and collaborate. They will be busy weaving and doing practical skills.
POI?
Rejected, sir. They have said that I have asked the second speaker on our opponents. We have asked that, do you think the government will lack funds on taking all teachers in the country for workshops? She has told us that there is proper planning in a country that will not lead to lack of funds. But we as team opposers see that they will lack funds. How? The budget of Uganda is at a low, is still low. But when they take those teachers when they take those teachers for workshops, that will lead to addition on the national budget, which will cause a deficit budget, because Uganda, as we know, we don't have a lot of money. He has said that the pupils will develop their talents, that when they are there is content-based curriculum in primary schools. But we see that although there is no content-based curriculum in... Hold on, sir. When there is no content-based curriculum in primary schools, there will be promotion of talents, like how there are talent shows in a school, and those talent shows can help pupils to promote their talents. Not only content-based curriculum can help pupils to promote their talents. We see that we as the opposition side, we have already won this debate according to our content. The table of judges, allow me to supplement. POI allowed.
If you have known that they will be busy doing pottery, can't you see that is teamwork already?
I would like to answer you by saying, a person, they will give you a project individually. How will you do teamwork, yet you are given a project individually? I would like to supplement on the points that were given out by my side. Overemphasis on skills. As you all know, pupils hate studying and writing notes. That means if they introduce content-based curriculum in school, pupils will be more focused on skills and practicing practical skills. They will neglect the reading and revising. The table of judges, allow me to rest my case. I call upon my opponents to come and move from the miserly land that you are in and join us in the peaceful land.
You have 1 minute for the reply speech.
I begin my speech in 3, 2, and 1. The table of judges, honorable opponents, and esteemed audience, I'm back to give the reply speech. My name is Atire Patricia from the team opposition of from the team opposition of this debate. I would like to supplement on the points that were given on by the second speaker from team opposition. Implementation challenges. We see that pupils in schools will face challenges in classes. They will be thinking of answers, but in practical skills, we see that pupils will be able to get the solution because they will be practicing that real skill. They will be getting the what they are thinking of, and they will be seeing it that it's this. They will, and it will promote justice. Focus on institutional outcomes. We see that pupils will focus on institutional outcomes than the context-based curriculum. Therefore, I declare the opposition side as the winner according to what we have said. I rest my case.
Thank you so much.
Our dear judges, the second speaker from the negator side has said that looking for teachers might reduce funds, but you cannot start a school without enough funds. We as the affirmative side think that SDG 16 will be achieved faster through teaching it in primary schools. The negators have said that the budget of Uganda is still low, but United Nations being the one that has introduced SDG 16, it will fund Uganda to implement CBC in primary schools. And I would like to leave this question with you. Why do you think that pottery is done? Why do you think that pottery is not an individual practice? Panel, if this debate is judged on which team promotes the principle of inclusivity, I think we win this debate. If it is judged on which team promotes teamwork, I think we win this debate. If it is judged on which team promotes collaboration, I think we win this debate. Our dear judges, we rest our case.
Okay, Kari, thank you so much. Are we safe? Mwebare kandi nyine aba St. Paul's akaneshangwa hariyo muri Gora akandi bono bino manyanta nayo category basically ya primary akana obiza om category G ya icon debate competitions kandi bono abo bagirangwa. I think this is the first time you're participating into the icon debate competitions, right? So kandi boba bagirangwa we have come with all the confidence and everything to take this trophy.
This trophy because we have been trying of things, and I think if the Lord is our helper, we are going to win this trophy.
Okay. You're participating for the first time. How prepared are you?
I'm very prepared because I've worked hard for this, and I don't think that the workers that I put, it will let me down. So with God, everything is possible.
What should we expect?
You should expect a trophy from us, because since it is our first time and we have worked hard for this, and I don't think we shall let ourselves down.
Okay. As I confident you neria mani. Wachenga. You yetebeka ni sota.
I'm ready to take this trophy because I've prepared enough, and our teachers have put much effort on us. I think we are taking this trophy.
Okay. Abana mbatebeka ni simuta.
Okay, thank you so much. We have actually got enough time to carry out training as far as this debate championship is concerned, and at least we hope that by God's grace, what we have trained won't go with nothing. We are really ready to participate and at least achieve success. Yeah.
Wencha bana mnonga numbata mu debate ninga shabintu nkebi itwe kantureba ngo abamwe batekateka nokusiso we.
Thank you so much. Actually, as you said, most people think it is a wastage of time, especially when it comes to parents, but we are on the line with the new curriculum. So it is what we need to follow best. We're not supposed to be focusing only on the chalkboard. We should also focus on developing the learner's skills and talents. Yeah.
Okay. Kali reka byona ntuza kuba ntubireba kandi uruzungu rurabe ryo mu ndomo. niwe nako gambera nchiba nchendo yo kumiraha, and you see what is taking down here. Okay. You're feeling the microphone? Who? Okay, Kale, thank you so much. Kandi mwena our batureba icon debate competitions. Remember, we are taking shape and amashomero gataraga mwena gamwe kandi already guys kwekiraha kandi umuryaga majingo munchirize kandi mbaretire banywana bita ba Link Excel High School nubashangwa hari yo mu rurembo rwa Igorra wabutakakire wano zo mu ruguto rwambara warwo mutawuni y'Igorra utakakira council offices wow noza kurebe cyapa kiri kufite mbokwe ruguru heza wano reba yo nono shana ngo hariyo famu tine chamane kiriyo mwako kushikayo hatushanga yisomero ry'amani mwana huriwe hati yan baba bakweta ba Link Excel High School akonka bari yaho mu icon debate competitions nimbiha tamazima so omuntu yayikona na tega ngo tine kiriyo kunga yakashanga yishomero yamawe nogiro ati ningano burayi so konka obeno manyantu bari yaha kandi mu debate competitions kandi they are also taking part into this tuza kureba bo betebekanise bata ambashomera minyi nigajyango nigenda kuwininga tingumanya nimwe mwiza kuwininga ninga you've come to participate just
na nitwe tuza kuwininga haza tuza turire
you speak your language mbangu ulira
nitwe tuja kusinga kandi tuza twina amanya mengi tulu confident etikopo tuza kitwara Link Excel High School
so confident this confidence mugihanka
confident tugihabo kuba tu practicingire to participating kale tukasanga tu participating last year hati twenga toiza tuli ready.
So last time it was like a benchmarking or you were learning?
Last time yes we learned. Last time no debating and then no yega. No boine byokwegamu then no mara no winning.
Ati mukabitereza.
Ati tukabitereza tuzi kuwinning.
Oyetebeka ni sort? How prepared are you for this debate? Mungambe na manyori nyankore ninga noruswai Ruganda yes okay you yetebeka ni sort you talk we are going for the debate
no yetebeka ni se
ni mugambe ni mureke iza konoi you come so how prepared are you for this debate?
I'm so prepared. We made practice and our patron is the best we have ever had. Our teammates are good. Our school is supportive. Abazire bitu mbatfaho twinerhanga na still yes. Our motto God our strength.
Okay. Naruhanga na ariyo muryechi. Oyetebeka ni sota?
Yetebeka ni seje okuba patron witu to guide nje to our practice, so we are sure that we shall win with our motto God our strength.
Okay. Hati oyetebeka ni sota wezi?
Yetebeka ni se. Titenga Link Excel High School to practice ingire echikumara tize ready to echikopo cha icon. Yes.
Okay. Iza turebe kawaye sere koko. Nojya ngumenta kuza kureba shi. Oyetebeka ni sota?
Itwenka ba Link twetebekaniseje abo kuba last time tukagezaho trying in these competitions ekitwihireyo kyatwegesangu if we come back this time we can get the best of the other one, so we prepared enough and we think we are to get the best. God our strength.
Okay. Petron iza turebe omukonzo omusana mbuza nomukonzo omukonjo.
Yes, of course we are always very prepared, and of course our students have a lot of passion, so it is because of that passion that they always come while they are prepared.
Do you speak the other language?
Which one?
I've always fought for the peace. I've always fought for the strong institutions. But what did I get from it? I shiver and tremble. The day I was abducted, I still remember. Put somewhere in a corner, I was tortured to denounce my love and my pride for my institution. I was intimidated, no one spoke. I was beaten, no one talked. I was lost and no one searched. I mean, I was badly injured and no one cared. My body was battered and it swelled and no one would treat me. My voice was just like an itching of a mosquito in the ears of a member of parliament that I really thought would help me out. I don't care if he becomes angry because actually I didn't come to make him happy. I cried and wailed day and night. I saw the others that suffered after me. I felt the pain making me to shiver, tremble. I come in front of you with fear and fright. I put aside my cap and said, peace building. I am no longer a builder. I left being an engineer. I left being an architect. I said I'll no longer be. And stood aside, said I will not be. But then when I came out of where I was, when I came out of the hiding, I saw others suffering. I saw that many other people were following me. I saw you coming. I saw your fall. I saw your torture in the same way I was tortured. It made me shiver. But then deep inside, it lit the courage in me, the courage that told me I need to come back to peace building. I put on my hat, I picked up my gloves, my safety boots and my overall and said, I am going to fight. Because I knew without me, the pages that were left in life would not be filled. It was my experience that I had to build on to give you a better tomorrow. The youth. I stand as a youth that has lived years to bring justice to the world, to bring peace after all I saw that is happening behind and outside the doors. When all that happened, when all the torture was induced on me, I told myself, even if all this happens, we shall be hurt, but we must fight until there is peace and justice in the world. Thank you.
I first thank the God Almighty for having made me to this position. Tell your neighbor, it's the Lord's mercy. Thank the God for me. I begin my speech in 3, 2, and 1. It's quite absurd, but I'm ready to talk to the Ugandans. The young generation, I'm not happy at all. A fool sees the first failure as the end, but the wise actually uses it to determine the weaknesses of the opponent. I must not keep quiet at this. It's not good. Look, world's peace and justice. It's not something good today. We expect equality, we expect security, we expect services, cooperation, development, equality, advancement, fair treatment, dignity, integrity, well-being, and sustainability. But they are not there. Can you see any of these? There is nothing today. That's why I'm ready to jump off from where I am and talk to the Ugandans. You, the youth, you must see what is coming. All these are deteriorated. Look for peace. in Russia and Ukraine. Check in Congo what is happening with the rebels, as if there is no care. Talk about Uganda being facing the M23. Is it peace? Then justice. The poor judgment, where we are seeing bribes, where we are seeing threats. Talk about the innocence being taken to the guilty people, as if we are not living. Ladies and gentlemen, I tell you, fighting for good is not bad. And I'm telling you, in facing all these challenges, we should remember that the stronger one actually wins. In the end, the stronger one wins. And how do you become strong? I must tell you, the youth, that you shall only become strong if you take actions and keep struggles on. Wear your belts, tighten them. I'm telling you, I have experience in what I'm saying. The youth, take interventions. Mostly, what you should consider, the youth, fight for peace. I tell you, join peace organizations, mostly in Uganda here. I must tell you, go join UPDF. Join the Uganda Police. These are the organizations we expect to be producing peace in Uganda. And if we see there is no peace, it is coming to our country, what do? Join them, produce peace. See the justice. You need to take quality education as a factor. I tell you, without taking this, you are no more. See, you should go for the law schools, judicial institutions, become a lawyer, take part in judgments. What are you waiting for? When you are seeing justice is falling day and night, you need to check up. But we must fight on until there is peace and justice in the world. Thank you.
Thank you for that speech, final.
I congratulate all finalists for public speaking, all debate semi-finalists for senior category. Please get inside. In the next few minutes, we are going to have finals for news anchoring category. However, I am going to announce results of debate semi-finals so that the team that made it final prepare. As finals for for news anchoring end, we are going to welcome the finals for debate secondary school category. All the teams that debated semi-final, please get inside. In a room where there was
two competing teams, I'm hereby oppose this motion, which states that this House believes that the youth quotas in government are effective in governance. Youth quotas are not homogeneous groups. Youth have no evidence. Youth lack confidence of standing in front of people and speak on an idea of promoting a country or a constitution. Youth have not gained experience in participating in politics. Youth lack experience of governance. Here I mean, youth have been always in schools participating on education. They have not been participating in politics, and they don't know how politics goes and how politics can be, how politics can be created. Youth have no money to participate in politics because these politics need more money for making campaigns, and they have not gained that. They have not gained that money because they have been studying in schools. They have been getting school fees from their parents and from the neighbors. They have not made their own money, which would help them in participating in politics. Youth have not gained the ability of leadership training. They have not gained any leadership training because most of their time they are in books. Maybe others are there on the others and on
thinking, whereby this leads to poor leadership, and whereby leadership should be based on ability, not age quotas. They assume all youth are capable. This is false.
That's how adjudication becomes the judges say that all teams were very good, but on ground of a principal argument, they agreed that the next team would proceed. Okay?
I begin my speech in 3, 2, and 1. The table of judges, esteemed audience, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Antonina Joyce. Good afternoon. Today, I stand before you to explain how active involvement and participation of our youth in driving peace and justice behind fostering resilient institutions in our beloved nation. Dear panel, first and foremost, youth involvement ignites the spirit of justice. Our young people are the energy of tomorrow. When we empower them with dialogue skills, conflict resolution, training, and community service, they become peace builders who reject violence and champion reconciliation. By engaging youth in peace clubs, volunteer programs, and inter-community projects, we cultivate a generation that solves disputes through understanding, not aggregation, securing harmonious Uganda for a better future. Secondly, youth participation is essential for delivering peace. Young minds are the innovations and fearless in exposing injustices, demanding campaigns, civic education, and advocacy groups. They push transparent systems for treatment or citizens. Therefore, their fresh perspectives aspire for reforms and strengthen the rule of law, ensuring that justice is accessible and impartial for every corner of Uganda. Dear ladies and gentlemen, strong institutions rely on youthful engagement of three institutions. Be they governmental, educational, or community-based, need the participation of young leaders to adopt and innovate. By integrating youth into policy discussions, mentorship programs, and leadership roles, we infuse our institutions with creativity, resilience, enabling them to serve public effectively. Dear panel, to embrace this potential, we must create platforms for young councils, Invest in skill building workshops and encourage partnership between schools and local governance. When our youth are heard and empowered, they become catalysts for peaceful coexistence. Dear ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion thank you.
The youth are the key. Honorable judges, distinguished teachers, and my fellow students, there is a question that has been brought throughout history. Who will build the future? Who will create peace? Who will establish justice? Who will strengthen our institutions? And throughout history, the answer has always been the same: the youth. My name is Aino Mas Ashe. I'm 12 years old, and I'm here to tell you that the youth involvement is not just important, it is essential. It is not just helpful, it is necessary. It is not just an option, it is the only way. Why are we the ones? Because we have the energy, we have the passion, we have the creativity, we have the numbers. But most importantly, we have the most at stake. When peace fails, we suffer the longest. When justice fails, we pay the highest price. When institutions crumble, we inherit the ruins. We are not fighting for future we will not see. We are fighting for the world we live in, for the children we raise, for Uganda we leave behind. Look around you. Look at what young people are already doing. In Gulu, young people are leading reconciliation programs between former enemies. In Kampala, young people are organizing against corruption. In Barara, young people are starting businesses that employ their peers. In Ibanda, young people are mediating conflicts in their school. We are not waiting for permission. We are not waiting for invitation. We are acting because the time for action is now. Youth are the key to peace because we have not yet learned how to hate. We have not yet built walls. We still believe that a child from another tribe is just a child. We still believe that dialogue can work. In my school, when two students fight, the prefects, young people like me step in. We listen, we mediate, we find solutions. This is peace building, and it works. Youth are the key to justice because we feel injustice most keenly. When a friend is treated unfairly, we rage. When a classmate is bullied, we intervene. When a system fails, we demand better. We are the ones who not accept who things are. Youth are the key to strong institutions because we are the ones who lead them. The institutions we build will be the ones we inherit tomorrow. And if we build them weak, we suffer. We thrive.
I've always fought for the peace. I've always fought for the strong institutions. But what did I get from it? I shiver and tremble. The day I was abducted, I still remember. Put somewhere in a corner, I was tortured to denounce my love and my pride for my institution. I was intimidated, no one spoke. I was beaten, no one talked. I was lost and no one searched. I was badly injured and no one cared. My body was battered and it swelled and no one would treat me. My voice was just like an itching of a mosquito in the ears of a member of parliament that I really thought would help me out. I don't care if he becomes angry because actually I didn't come to make him happy. I cried and wailed day and night. I saw the others that suffered after me. I felt the pain making me to shiver, tremble. I come in front of you with fear and fright. I put aside my cap and said, peace building. I am no longer a builder. I left being an engineer. I left being an architect. I said I will no longer be. And stood aside, said I will not be. But then when I came out of where I was, when I came out of the hiding, I saw others suffering. I saw that many other people were following me. I saw you coming. I saw your fall. I saw your torture in the same way I was tortured. It made me shiver. But then deep inside, it lit the courage in me, the courage that told me I need to come back to peace building. I put on my hat, I picked up my gloves, my safety boots and my overall and said, I am going to fight. Because I knew without me, the pages that were left in life would not be filled. It was my experience that I had to build on to give you a better tomorrow. The youth. I stand as a youth that has lived years to bring justice to the world, to bring peace after all I saw that is happening behind and outside the doors. When all that happened, when all the torture was induced on me, I told myself, even if all this happens, we shall be hurt, but we must fight until there is peace and justice in the world. Thank you.
I first thank the God Almighty for having made me to this position. Tell your neighbor, it's the Lord's mercy. Thank the God for me. I begin my speech in 3, 2, and 1. It's quite absurd, but I'm ready to talk to the Ugandans. The young generation, I'm not happy at all. A fool sees the first failure as the end, but the wise actually uses it to determine the weaknesses of the opponent. I must not keep quiet at this. It's not good. Look, world's peace and justice. It's not something good today. We expect equality, we expect security, we expect services, cooperation, development, equality, advancement, fair treatment, dignity, integrity, well-being, and sustainability. But they are not there. Can you see any of these? There is nothing today. That's why I'm ready to jump off from where I am and talk to the Ugandans. You, the youth, you must see what is coming. All these are deteriorated. Look for peace in Russia and Ukraine. Check in Congo what is happening with the rebels, as if there is no care. Talk about Uganda being facing the M23. Is it peace? Then justice. The poor judgment, where we are seeing bribes, where we are seeing threats. Talk about the innocence being taken to the guilty people, as if we are not living. Ladies and gentlemen, I tell you, fighting for good is not bad. And I'm telling you, in facing all these challenges, we should remember that the stronger one actually wins. In the end, the stronger one wins. And how do you become strong? I must tell you, the youth, that you shall only become strong if you take actions and keep struggles on. Wear your belts, tighten them. I'm telling you. I have experience in what I'm saying. The youth take interventions. Mostly, what you should consider, the youth fight for peace. I tell you, join peace organizations, mostly in Uganda here. I must tell you, go join UPDF. Join the Uganda Police. These are the organizations we expect to be producing peace in Uganda. And if we see there is no peace, it is coming to our country, what do? Join them, produce peace. See the justice. You need to take quality education as a factor. I tell you, without taking this, you are no more. See, you should go for the law schools, judicial institutions, become a lawyer, take part in judgments. What are you waiting for? When you are seeing justice is falling day and night, you need to check up. But we must fight on until there is peace and justice in the world. Thank you.
Thank you for that speech, final.
I congratulate all finalists for public speaking. All debate semi-finalists for senior category, please get inside. In the next few minutes, we are going to have finals for news anchoring category. However, I am going to announce results of debate semi-finals so that the team that made it final prepare. As finals for for news anchoring end, we are going to welcome the finals for debate secondary school category. All the teams that debated semi-final, please get inside. Thank you and good luck. The final round starts from there and then. It's an impromptu. Okay.
Rules and techniques of news anchoring. Your impromptu task will be to create a news bulletin.
Realistic and informative is what it was continuing with Robert
Welcome, it is Ibasco TV and it is the 11th of April 2026 and we bring you the latest stories from around the globe, and our top stories tonight are Icon debates at Ibanda University, and as it is making it, the news anchors on stage. More in the bulletin, we shall see how the public speech members made it on stage in the University Hall. The news in details. The Icon Debate Network in Ibanda District began an initiative of empowering youth and young students in an era where they can come in to bring on their participation. The day began with an ambition from the agenda whereby Reverend Amtaile Kuruka gave a word to the participants. In his words, he was like, "Dear members, participating in debate club, as I began it at Ibanda Town School. When we are debating motions, water is better than fire." What are the themes of today? I pose this question to you. Reverend Father Kuruka went on to emphasize to the students that a foundation for tomorrow begins with debate. This was evidenced in the main hall, whereby he went on to tell them that to think on the future, and where he posed the question, who knows what the future is and who knows what the future holds. Every journey begins with one step. As the day continued on, we realized that a number of people participated in different competitions, whereby members participated in debate and others participated in public speech, where we saw some members on stage experiencing their talents. In public speech, we noticed that a student from Bichela Secondary School narrated a story, narrated a poem on stage that he was giving public speech. In the due eve, we notify that on this congregation, important members like the head teacher of St. Mary's Primary School, Richie, was present on this event, with the head of the Icon Debate Networks, named after Hillman Martins. It has been Norbert Kachare, your news anchor from Ibasco TV. We shall get back shortly. Stay tuned, stay connected.
Yes.
A very good evening. These are the news on Icon FM, and the presenter is Asasla King Francis. Today of 11th April, it's when a spotlight family at Ibanda University, where the Ibanda district opened debate competition by Icon. The debate competitions began where the students arrived, and they started an act of socializing with their fellows. And here, during this session, our known Reverend and in charge of the youth in the diocese known as Reverend Kuruka addressed the students before they go for their debate competitions. And here it's when he tasks most of the students who else can be and be aware of the theme of today's debate. In his words, he stated,
I want to ask everyone here, if you know that today's theme, raise up your hand, or else I choose at random.
And surprisingly, no student raised until he decided to choose at random, and the student acted out, and the students came in front and talked about today's theme of the debate. Walking through the halls of Ibanda University today, the air is thick with anticipation. The competition isn't just about winning trophies, it is about building confident citizens as organized from Icon. Have noted these are sessions designed to take shy students and mold them into bold advocates by confusing and critical thinking, content analysis, and teamwork. Icon is providing a platform for students to share ideas and foster environmental and social change. We are seeing students from across the district and beyond, some even having traveled from neighboring regions, all competing for the spot of the national level. As the final rounds conclude today at Ibanda University, one thing is certain: regardless of the scoreboards, the intellectual landscape of Ibanda is growing stronger. We will bring you the full list of winners in our next bulletin. For now, reporting for news, I was Asasra King Francis, Icon TV. Stay tuned for more information. We meet.
A very good evening, everyone. It is 6 p.m. news in English on 87.1 Icon FM radio. My name is Freddy Kamkama. News headlines. Ibanda Community Organization Network competitions today, 11th April 2026. News in details. It is a grateful day in Ibanda district whereby icon competitions have laid a foundation of public speakers, news anchoring, poets, storytellers, and debaters. Before the competitions have begun, Reverend Kurika asked all the participants to tell him what the theme was, and one of the participants said, and that participant was one participant was a member from Ibasco, and he said, the youth is youth participation as a key to promoting peace, justice, and strong institutions. As we went on to tell you the news that are still happening in here Ibanda University, we are still waiting for the results of debaters and those who are coming to finals. Otherwise, stay tuned for Icon TV, Icon F.
Okay, Kali, thank you so much. Kadi mwenda bariono batureba, and remember, Kandi, we have the defending champions, I can say, and Oveno Manyanth, these are the defending champions, basically, home Ibanda municipality, the Ibanda secondary school. Kandi Oveno Manyanth Nuwa batwire the trophy the last time, and they are again here for the Ibanda debate competitions. Kandi turebe na mnonga how they are faring. The same team, because I have seen some familiar faces Bariyaha last time, and I'm very much pretty sure that they will defend, and if they don't defend, so what is happening basically inside there. So
thank you very much. My name is Ahereza Crispus, and as far as the debate tournament is concerned of Icon, is that we have made thorough training and we are ready to crush whatever we shall meet on our way, and I promise you that we shall make it for the best of this tournament.
Thank you so much for this great opportunity. My name is Atisha Julius. So I, as a debater, I have made enough practices. I have attended some tournaments, gaining experience. So I believe that whatever comes along our way shall be crushed. So,
yeah. For this debate.
Thank you very much, Mr. Smith. Personally, I'm ready to swallow any locust that steps on the ground. Perhaps any locust that steps on the ground. What do I mean? If anything steps on me, I'm ready to take it. Okay. As Ibasco says, we are eagles. I'm ready to beat each and every chicken that comes to my side. Yeah.
Okay. Those are strong words, you man. Echiroto chachira ninga na hati yaba chukwasiri mwana.
Mwenesha ejinyeni nyenda round stand chire hotera abantu. But just know we are very ready to crush anyone who comes along our way. Let's hope that everything will be in our favor.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you ready for this?
We are very ready because, like our motto says, Aspera Dastra, striving for greater heights. We have been there before. We've been to bigger tournaments. This is just a normal day thing. We have come to enjoy the day and have fun and win and go home.
This is just a normal day thing, right? So you
basically, thank you for this opportunity. What we are looking forward is just the trophy, not any other thing. Best, not for something else. Just the trophy, that's all.
Are you ready for this?
Yes, it's Bamwine Lake, because we are very focused and we know what we want. That's why I believe in all of us that we shall make it.
Will you defend this trophy?
Yeah, by the mere fact that we did it last time, every day is a developing day, so we have actually improved, and we're here to defend the name because we deserve it and we're really prepared. Anyway, I'm Nampura Trevor, here to take what belongs to me. Yeah.
So you've come with a trophy to give it out, or you're defending it, or you left it home?
Of course, as a must, we have to defend this trophy because we have to show our reputation. We have to continue to show that we are still big men in Ibanda. We are very ready. We expect obvious wins and very good rounds anyway.
Okay. So the katurebe mbweno kan patron we abana babatebekenisata ikofide kari abaringi mnonga.
We bale mnonga Mr. Smith Kato as Ibanda Secondary School this day. And we are sure we are taking home everything. Be it news anchoring, debate, speech, talk about everything. We are going with it because we have prepared for it. And I have confidence in my sons. I know they are going to make it.
So basically, we have seen so many schools not participating into such debates and activities. What is the motivation that drives you to this?
Yeah, for us as Ibanda Secondary School, we build a holistic student. Our aim is to produce a student that can compete in the world, at the world market. And that's why we give debate and other activities the first priority. We think these boys need speech, they need to talk and convince people. That's how they can survive in this 21st century. Yeah.
Okay, so the defending champions are here, ladies and gentlemen. Because they have said they will crush whatever cockroach steps on the ground. So what if you find that I'm the cockroach? So you may find I may be crushed. But anyway, let's see what is happening there. We are shaking. So let's see them, right?
Team affirmative and team negative. We come here to resolve this resolution, which states that this house believes that the emphasis on the youth participation inadvertently perpetuates the performative activism distracting from systemic reforms needed for peace, justice, and strong institutions. So this resolution requires me to give out the problems which will result on the emphasis when we encourage the youth into the activism. So youth empowerment has become a global slogan repeated in conferences, campaigns, and hashtags. So by beneath this celebration lies on troubling reality. So the performative activism actually has become the actions of seeking support without creating meaningful change. So in the current generation, for example, like Uganda, we have actually faced the problem this accident emphasizing the youth to take part in activism has led to the slowdown of service delivery. So we as the team affirmative, we stand firm in our side and say that the overemphasis on the youth participation has not always translated into meaningful change, but instead it has often encouraged a shallow engagement, and this activism actually has remained as symbolic rather than promoting the real world participation and change. So by placing the youth at a center without structural support and accountability, we as team affirmative, we are saying that symbolic gestures and performative activism are actually visibility which have no impact for real world change. So by placing the youth at the center without the structural support and accountability and transparency. So instead, this does not actually strengthen peace and justice, but instead it dilutes it. So today we argue that this well-intentioned emphasis has actually inadvertently created destruction, and it has also weakened accountability and promoted activism, which has brought out the symbolic of a real world participation. So we stand firm in the affirmative side and say that the overemphasis on the youth in participation. This will lead to rise of performative activism in a way that youth engagement is often social media driven, prioritizing visibility over substance. So hashtag movements and online trends create illusion of impact without real policy impact. So we as Team Affirmative say that many youth activists are encouraged to speak out but not equipped to drive long-term resolution. So activism becomes symbolic rather than transformative activism. So this has also created the institutional exploitation. So governments arrest my case. So we as Team Affirmative, we say that the overemphasis on the youth has created that layer of action. So we see the youth as the people who are lazy, as the people who lack experience, as the people who are responsible. So the overemphasis on the youth in activism. This will lead out to will delay the action in service delivery. So we also see that the overemphasis on the youth will arrest my case.
All right. It is working. It's okay. Okay, so the first question is, if the problem is with corruption within the systems of governance, all right. Okay, so if the problem is that corruption exists within societies or within the systems of the government, how does absence of youth participation solve that particular weakness within the systems?
We are saying that this accidentally emphasizing the youth will lead to distracting the peace and justice. Get my point?
Okay, so some other question is, are you aware of the Kampala Pothole exhibition, which was caused due to the youth movement on social media, to say, don't you think that performative activism sets a foundation for real activism to take place?
I've rested my case.
Okay. Before I begin my speech, I'd like to say some shout outs. Much appreciation goes to the organizers of ICON. How do I hold it? Okay, thank you. So, shout outs to Tisha Medad and Chahilman Martin for the support you have given us. Much appreciation goes to the judges for the value of Adidas today. Then also I appreciate all the people who have given in to come and participate in tonight's tournament. Special recognition goes to Madam Ruth from Regional Secondary School. Then I'd like to appreciate my teammates for the far we have come. Some people didn't expect us to reach this far because of some challenges anyways. Then I also appreciate our school administration and everyone who loves us. We love you so much. I begin my speech in 3, 2, and 1. I think, Chair, on clarity, tonight's debate isn't about maybe if participation is good to that extent or if it's bad.
Can we state that this house believes that the emphasis on the youth participation inadvertently perpetuates the performative
exists within your country. That is to say, because these people know it, that they much more likely have a longer time on earth compared to these sorts of elites. They much more likely get incentivized to ensure that this is to exist within your own country. But then thirdly, notice that these are the educated people and people who are informed about how democracy looks like and how political education looks like. That is to say, they know the best policies on how they can much more likely bring about it. But then, Chair, on how then the youth get engaged within these kinds of activities. Firstly is that these people can go on social media and post something. The assumption side proposition has is that us emphasizing on these people as key drivers of
maybe activism, it then makes activism some sort of performative. I think we'll disapprove that, and that's why we seek to exist as side proposition. Firstly, if we can prove to you that we think that the participation of youth becomes a complement for the kind of action or real change that may much more likely exist within society, side proposition can never win on how this happens to exist. Notice that because governments expect majority of the societies to buy into their own ideas, they much more likely buy into the ideas of the youth. That's to say, if we much more likely focus on maybe drive these youth being the key drivers of these kinds of policies, governments much more likely going to buy into them. Why? Because they need their votes and they need their trust to that in that extent and to that regard. But then secondly, Chair, notice that government cares a lot about visibility and things like popularity to that extent. They to much extent want to impress majority of the people within their own societies to that extent. So that is to say, because government cares a lot about how other countries look them and at them and popularity, they much more like I think then you going on social media and posting the wrong information about government much more likely pushes government better policy existing in society. Why? Because they want buy-in from the international world. They need trust from these kinds of people. Always be proud to oppose in such a motion. But then secondly, notice here that we have the sort of political capture within extent. That is to say, the elites like Museveni and his group of NRM have much the entire space within the country. That's to say, then the youth have to find a better mechanism on how they can much more likely engage, much more likely seek to say that these youth don't add value in any way. That means that we take away things like social media activism, we take away things like this. Even actually a simple evidence to actually show you how these things have achieved. Firstly, we have the Kampala Pothole exhibition that existed in 2023. This is after Jimmy Spire Sentongo had reacted so fast to ensure that they have this kind of better policy, to ensure that the potholes in Kampala are much more likely going to take away. That provide a better avenue for the bigger part of the population to engage in and activism to that extent. But then on the entire dynamics of society, notice that because you have elites existing within your own society, this means that on how policies are going to run within your own country. I think that calls that side proposition has is that us emphasizing on these people as key drivers of maybe activism, it then makes activism some sort of performative. I think we'll disapprove that, and that's why we seek to exist as side proposition. Firstly, if we can prove to you that we think that the participation of youth becomes a complement for the kind of action or real change that may much more likely exist within society, side proposition can never win on how this happens to exist. Notice that because governments expect majority
of told us that the youth has the biggest percentage in Uganda. Yeah, it is the biggest percentage. But then we are looking at the emphasis. What has the emphasis on the youth participation brought? First of all, yeah, they are many, but then has it actually brought in peace and justice? Has it actually brought in strong institutions?
What we show you is that the mechanisms that the youth use are the key drivers and much more likely incentivize government to act that way, because people use social media and stuff like that. So government, because they care a lot about their optics, they much more likely respond to that extent in that better way.
But then do you believe that actually the government can also actually give a damn on what those people are posting on hashtags?
But what we tell is that because government is interested in staying on power, they will much more likely assure that they follow the things the bigger part of the population is voting for, because they want to stay there anyways. They will make sure that they satisfy you for you to vote for them in that regard.
I begin my speech in 3, 2, 1. Then panel, I'm failing to get the team negative, and then I'm asking them how are they characterizing the youth who are actually accidentally creating the destruction of the systemic need for peace and justice. So in our kind of world panel, we are characterizing the youth as a person who is not yet ready, as a person who is not informed, as a person who is not exposed to global changes. That's how we describe the youth in our own side. Then we say that why should we put emphasis on these people who actually accidentally create performative activism? We look at the fact that these people are not calling out for real world change, but then they are just there creating illusions. Yet we need real world change for peace, justice, and strong institutions. Then I'm getting a disappointment from the team affirmative, because their major emphasis is like on visibility, but then for us we are going for impact, not visibility. We are not all about yes, we have seen you've participated, but then how has that what's its impact? What has that brought in the systemic need for peace and justice? So that's why we say that the team negative are not getting that. We are looking for impact on the systemic need for peace and justice, but then not visibility on that. Then we stand to say that we need the impact, but then not visibility. So our first farmer was asked the question, and then I will respond it. It was like whatever. Let me just give an answer. The answer is like it creates gap for government to emphasize on fighting corruption rather than youth participation. Because look at the fact that corruption is going for real world change, but then youth emphasis is just creating illusions. Then I want to ask them, are they calling for impact or visibility? But then for us, we are looking for impact, but then not visibility. So panel, we stand on these points like this emphasis on youth participation, it is delaying action, it is raising performative activism. So we need action for peace and justice. And then if we emphasize on the youth, then we are not calling out for real world participation. We are not calling out for change. Action does not wait, but action is the immediate solution to all. Then it raises performative activism. We are looking at the fact that the emphasis on the youth participation, it is just bringing out illusions for peace and justice. And then the illusions that are brought up, they just destroy the systemic need for peace and justice. But then if we do not emphasize on the youth participation and then go for real world changes, and we emphasize on something that will actually promote peace and justice, and that's corruption. If we emphasize on fighting corruption, it means that we are going what? We are going for the real action to be taken for peace and justice to people, rather than doing what? Rather than creating illusions with the youth. I rest my case.
Okay, 3, 2, and 1, we go. I think so. The question is, so you mean that if we don't emphasize more on these youth, much more likely activism never becomes that performative to that extent, right?
Yeah.
So like, what mechanization do you provide to us that maybe makes society better if we don't emphasize on these people?
You can actually go for things that are for real world.
Which things?
Like fighting corruption.
Fighting corruption, how?
Like we can fight corruption. We can fight corruption through arranging free and fair elections.
Free and fair elections. Yeah. Who organizes them? The corrupt people. Anyway,
government. Let's
go ahead. What incentive do you provide for governments to actually ensure that they have these reforms within your own society? What incentive exists there for governments to?
I forward it to the next speaker.
You forward it to the next speaker. Okay.
Before I start, am I audible? Am I audible, guy? Before I start my speech, I would like to say something small. Yeah, to everyone who is trying to become a debater. It is a hard thing, but just don't give up because you have lost. Just learn. Okay, I'll start my speech in 3, 2, 1, go. Notice, Chair, I just want to chat on why there is an active incentive in status quo to deny systemic reform. If the biggest idea you much likely get from side proposition is to say, what we care about is systemic reform. We just don't want symbolism. I want to show you why you just don't get this if you don't have youth participation in society. Firstly, active incentive in society for this idea to much likely be denied. Firstly, you want to look at government coercion. It is to say that governments find it very comfortable to continue maintaining the current systems. It is to say corruption much likely is very cheap. We can continue maximizing this kind of idea. It is to say that government much likely influences the systems that much likely exist. You have less access to parliament because much likely government influences who goes there. They much likely influence the voting process. They much likely put individuals there. It becomes less likely that you much likely get systemic reform because you just don't access the fora where you're much likely going to discuss systemic reform. Secondly, you much likely have immature democratic processes or democratic systems. It is to say, in Uganda, in a country like Uganda, you have less developed democratic systems. It is to say, accountability mechanisms much likely don't manifest, or even when you go to parliament, these systems are much likely corrupted. There is no institutional independence. It's much likely to say these things are much likely dependent or controlled by someone who does not want accountability, like corruption. They argue you just don't get accountability because it is much likely influenced by individuals. Thirdly, there's an idea on the capitalistic world. It is to say Uganda is much likely influenced like that. Individuals that are high up the radar of earning wealth and money much likely control the agenda. They much likely don't want you to much likely find accountability. Or anyways, firstly, the individuals that have this money are the old people who have like had a lot of time on earth. They have garnered enough wealth. They much likely control who much likely becomes better, who goes to parliament and stuff like that. It is to say the youth much likely don't access this kind of mechanism. Why does it become better? For you to have the youth. Firstly, you just don't get accountability by dreaming and thinking. Symbolism does not create that. Secondly, it is to say that the youth much likely use better mechanism to divert or to go like away from this kind of mechanism. It is to say the youth much likely focus on visibility. They create things like reputational harm or things like optics, focusing on social media, which much likely enables you to get these things at a low cost. It is to say every youth can access a smartphone. They much likely use this advantage against the systemic reform to much likely access these mechanisms. The comparative is to say the side of the house simply wishes that there can be systemic reform, there can be reform. There's an active incentive in society. This thing can provide you an assurance. It is to say, even when there are these inequities and challenges in status quo, you much likely get this kind of idea much likely focused on because the youth much likely bypass that kind of mechanism, that kind of block that exists by much likely focusing things like social media, invisibility that much likely force these individuals to care about this kind of idea. I want to push on why reputation and optics matters most. Firstly, you need to understand that government cares about its reputation. It is not to say that it's only locally because they want to. It also matters to say the international community and likely means and where you much likely get to this kind of idea. I want to talk about optics and reputation. It is to say exposure to the media much likely influences government to reform. We think the youth much likely use mechanisms that much likely access the biggest media. It is to say the youth use social media that access the biggest platforms. Secondly, the youth much likely access like international global spaces, that is to say X, Twitter and stuff like that. Secondly, the youth know what is much likely important to be done. It is to say the youth have much likely read a lot. They are much likely curious. They know that government is opposed to this kind of idea, that they have to demand